So welcome back once again. Nice to have you back. Hope you had a small chat, at least in the lounge. Feel free to continue any conversations you found interesting a little bit later on. We'll do the networking session. But for now, we have open mic night. Now, I don't think anybody's going to sing, thankfully. I certainly won't. You'll be glad to know. We're going to have 4 speakers who are going to join me on stage one by one, and they will have some kind of project or call to action, right? So I'm very curious about what we'll see. There'll be a 5-minute presentation. If you have any questions, put them in the chat or put them in the Q&A, and I'll certainly be happily ask them afterwards. All right, brilliant. No requests for tunes though. All right, thank you. The first person we're going to have up is Celia Cruz. Celia, if you can join me up here, that would be fantastic. She's going to be sharing her new startup with us. Just to remind you guys afterwards that the networking session in the lounge, you can go to the tables will be named after the projects. So you can also, if you feel like asking questions there, you can certainly do that a little bit later on. You can interact with each person individually. Great. Now, hopefully, Celia is here somewhere. Let's see if I can bring her in. Maybe I'm not sure that I can. Great, here she comes. Hi, Celia. How are you doing?
Hi, Declan. Thank you for pushing me in.
You're very welcome.
Always these technical issues.
Oh, it's normal life, Celia, isn't it, these days? It's normal to have technical issues.
Exactly.
Brilliant. You have a presentation for us as well, is that right?
There is. Let me check if I can share my presentation, if that does not give me an issue.
Who knows what will happen next, Celia? That's any buttons that you press, disaster can happen at any second.
I may need to have to refresh this, so not sure if I'll need to have for a couple of seconds more.
Give it a try, like yeah.
So I may need to refresh. I may need to go out, but in 2 seconds I'll be back.
No problem. We'll be waiting here for you. Maybe I will sing a song, Celia. That might be the way to go. No, not tonight. Not tonight. Yeah, I can see you clapping. There was one clap, just 2 clap. Okay, two. Thanks very much for the request, guys. You're so kind. You're very kind. Thank you very much. Like it's not my role today. It's not about me. Thankfully, Celia's back to rescue me from having to sing a song. Did that work for you, Celia?
Sorry, I don't know what you did meanwhile. But hopefully you can see my presentation.
Brilliant. Yes.
Perfect. So thank you so much, Declan. So as we've been saying, my name is Celia Cruz, and who was here yesterday? You may have already seen me yesterday also with technical issues. I'm so sorry, as I'm also part of the EIT Health Alumni Board on the InnoStar South. But on my professional side, I'm head of regulatory affairs and co-founder at Complear Health. And that's what I'm coming here to talk to you today. And it's a pleasure for me also to be the first on this open mic session. So I come here to talk to you a little bit about Complear and some info on regulation of medical devices, and mainly software as medical device. So when we typically think of medical device, we think on the most traditional ones, pacemakers, ultrasound, CT, MRI. But as most of you know, software can also fit as medical device if it has a medical purpose. And in the end, it all comes to this, what you intend to do with the software or with the app. And this may be trickier than you think, since you are often in the gray area of regulation, mainly with software. This can be a tricky issue. But very briefly, if you are influencing a medical device, another medical device, if you do something on the data besides archiving, storage, communication, or simple search, and you have an impact on a specific patient, you may well fit this definition. So if it fits, what you need to do, you need to follow the new medical device regulation in case it's related to body specimens. There is also the in vitro diagnostic, the medical device regulation that is coming up next year. So depending on where you fit, you need to fit this one of these regulations. Both saw significant changes being published in 2021 and 2022, respectively, with additional requirements than the ones before. So you understood that you are a medical device. So what's the next step? Next step is to classify it. In Europe, regarding the medical device regulations, it goes from 1 to 3, where 3 is the class with the highest risk. And any classification higher than class 1 will require a notified body to assess you and certify you. And regarding medical device software, the main rule in the regulation, in the medical device regulation that is considered is mostly Rule 11, where it mostly focuses on the significance of the information provided to the user, and also the state of and also the significance of information and the state of patient or patient condition. These will be what mostly will affect your classification of your device. And so you know your medical device, you classify it, and then what's next? The pathway, I won't lie to you, it's long, and there are a lot of areas where you need to pay attention to, from a quality management system, for testing, clinical evaluation, involvement of notified bodies if it's case of it. And if you start preparing this too late, you may be facing the need to redo some tests, to redo some clinical investigations, even redo the product if needed, which may imply not only a longer time to market, but also more costly. And as we all know, for small companies, this can be really an issue. The quality management system, the technical documentation, and clinical evaluation are the main areas where you need to focus the most and have a different level of cost and complexity along it. As medical device consultants in ourselves, as we are focused on digital health, we know that software is different. Software product features are constantly changing, with several versions being developed to be launched today, tomorrow, in 6 months, or some even never. And we are building Complear to be the operating system for digital health regulatory and quality compliance. By working with our clients and from our expertise in the field, we are developing several modules to speed and simplify several steps with the regulatory process for digital health. Starting with bringing the product and regulatory strategy together within a scenarios module for new products or new features, the teams from different companies can map their compliance implications. This is built also on a model of the product definition, with the design and development and risk management, where the team can start from day one to be compliant with their initial steps of a medical device product development. But this is just the beginning. By helping to structure that information in the previous modules about the medical device, we'll offer the teams the unique access to the best practices and knowledge in the industry. And this will always be updated to the newest regulations, state-of-the-art of industry, keeping the companies focused on running their products and their business. So medical device should be safe and clinically sound. For this, we need to bring regulatory compliance to the digital era. And our vision at Complear is making digital health compliance easy and clear from day one. So if you want to know more about your regulatory strategy, know more about this topic, come and talk with me to the networking table. You can reach me out also to any of my contacts, LinkedIn, or even the Alumni platform. So I'm happy to listen to you and to answer some questions that you may have.
That's great, Celia. Thank you very much. It seems like a great way to leverage this platform, actually, to kind of connect with the alumni people. It seems like exactly the right kind of project. Compliance
Thank
is
you.
probably one of the trickiest things for especially small businesses. Who do you see as people who would contact you first? Who do you imagine working with?
Who I imagine work with. So we typically work with small companies, mainly from digital health. I mean, in medical device, the majority of manufacturers in Europe are small companies, small startups, or even small businesses that want to bring their idea and their innovation to a next level. It's how it started, and so it's them that we want to work with and to partner with, so that we may make their solution a reality in the best, easiest way.
Great. Thank you, Celia. Anybody who has any questions to want to connect with you, get some more information, please join Celia a little bit later in the lounge. Thank you, Celia.
Thank you.
So Salvador, I believe is going to join me now, hopefully. Salvador, are you there? Salvador Severich, looking for team members to join his startup, Salvus Health. So hopefully Salvador will join me in a moment to save me from, I think he's requested an Irish song now. I don't think I know any. Salvador, you've saved me. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, very well.
Good
Thank
evening.
you.
Sorry.
Yes, dark where I am.
Perfect. Thank you for inviting us today. I think I will also share maybe my screen to show a couple of slides that we have prepared.
Great.
And then maybe I can introduce also better myself.
Brilliant. Thank you, Salvador. You're going to tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing, and you're looking for some people to join you in your mission.
Yes, that's always the biggest challenge, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Salvator Severich. I'm founder of Salvus Health, and Salvus Health is what we call a preventive healthcare platform that we have built over the last year and a half, almost 2 years. So let me maybe quickly introduce the team. Well, first of all, I think we always like to start by mentioning what is our mission. We would like to really help people to take control of their health and have an impact, in people's lives to make this much easier, let's say, and also especially to anticipate problems. Nowadays, still most of the healthcare is focused on the reactive, or let's say afterwards, once you have been already diagnosed or you have been found sick. What we want to do is help to support more like the preventive side of this industry. Over the last year, we built not just, let's say, a product, but also a team. Now we're like 5-6 people that are fully focused on this project. And we have different, let's say, profiles that are complementing these the skills that we can have in the team. From, let's say, people that come from the industry, from in this case, consulting field in the pharmaceutical area, to engineers, software developers that also have been working in projects that are related to the clinical trials phase. In my case, or my co-founder Philip, we had the opportunity to work together in my previous company, in this case in Signaturit. It's a startup from Spain that we could grow from 3 people to over 100 in the last, let's say, 7 years. So we have some experience, but we are now surrounding ourselves with the experts that come from the industry so we can have a bigger impact and make sure that with something that is very important in this industry, that you are doing the right things. As also Celia was mentioning, regulation is very important. Also the opinion of the different stakeholders involved, from the doctor side, the government, the pharmaceuticals. So that's something we want to be sure. And that's why we have surrounded ourselves not only from, let's say, young and passionate talent, but also from some experts that come from different, let's say, areas from this industry, like from the pharmacy side, from the specialties like cardiologists, and also, let's say, people that are in the regulatory side from the government. But maybe let's explain you a bit better what is the product, what are we building? So Salvus Health, or the first product we are launching to the market, Salvus Care, it's a platform that allows, in this case, consumers to measure and get more information about their vital parameters at the pharmacy. So in this kind of point of care setup, if a person comes into a pharmacy that has been enabled with the Salvus Health solution, the person will be able to measure some parameters like the blood pressure, the oxygen saturation, the BMI, some weight. And based on these measurements, he will get some insights. And afterwards, will be also able to follow up and, let's say, monitor this over the course of the years. In that sense, the next step, what we are doing also is trying to integrate or bring this information back to other people or stakeholders in the ecosystem. So this can be used then for instance, the doctors or the practitioners that can, let's say, also be monitoring the patients in a more efficient way. So we are adding additional data points and insights, both from the patients, but also from the rest of the ecosystem. I think my video is not working.
And that's the last they ever saw of Salvus. I'm assuming he's going to be back on. I think we've just had a connection problem. Fingers crossed he'll be able to join us a little bit and we can continue the presentation. Yeah. Here we go. He's back.
Yes, I'm back. Sorry, I think there was an issue with the video. Suddenly.
Yeah, I think because you disappeared from the screen. Like, if you're able to share your screen, we could hear you though. So we were able to follow what you were saying. It was just the last little moment there, as you mentioned, the problem that we lost you. So
perfect.
Please carry on.
So I think here what was just finishing. No, let's say with the idea is to enable the patients to anticipate, to discover if they are, let's say, in the risk of developing, for instance, a chronic condition. And we do this with, let's say, providing more accessible measurements, in this case, at the setup of the pharmacy. And this is not theory, but it's live. So it's really a product that has been launched. We have already, let's say, above around 50 customers in Belgium in this case. And they are very happy, or they are convinced that this is the way to go, because first of all, it enables the pharmacy to provide a new, let's say, service, a new way to engage with consumers. It allows them to do this in a more time efficient way, because let's say there is an important part of the flow that has been fully automated. And finally, of course, it returns into a kind of concrete business outcome, bringing more traffic to the pharmacy and, let's say, having more loyal customers. And as I was saying, it's not theory, it's practice. This is a bit the setup, how it looks today, but it's continuously expanding. We are integrating new medical devices and having, let's say, a more complete, robust solution. And that's where we are now, like in 50 pharmacies around, especially in the Flemish side of Belgium, but looking also forward to expand first to the rest of the country, and then second also to other European countries, because the market opportunity is huge. And that's why we are here today, because we are looking for other, let's say, people that are hungry to, let's say, have an impact, to really help to change people's life. And in this case, more concretely, what we are looking for is people that can help us more maybe from the medical side, so doctors or people that have this kind of professional background, because that's something that can help us to move from these now measurements that are, let's say, the first step, to more like the insights, and also even further in terms of the preventive health programs that we can build. Also, we are looking for maybe in this case more in an entry-level position, but also people that would like to join us in the business side for the marketing. And that's also something that, let's say, we're really eager to keep building this brand, to not just, let's say, have a nice product, but also help us to share the word, expand or reach. And that's why we're here today. I'm very happy to have a conversation with you afterwards, or if not, you can always send us an email and we can then afterwards schedule a call. So thank you very much for the invitation, and I'm looking forward to talking to you.
Thank you very much, Salvador. That sounds like a fascinating project. It's lovely to see something that's up and running and actually functioning. So if anybody's interested, please join Salvador, ask him some questions about the work. Someone has asked what kind of testing facilities are currently present at pharmacies. What we might do, Salvador, if you don't mind, we might save that question, maybe if you want to answer that at the roundtable.
Sure.
In the lounge itself.
Happy to do so.
Question to talk about them, because I think that's a good question. Probably some more people will want to join you at that too.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you, Salvador. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
You too. So now Brian Wong is going to join me in a moment. I believe he's going to share his project, Health Innovation and Entrepreneurship for Public Good and Social Impact, looking for case studies to be included in their paper. So Brian, if you are around, come on up to the stage. He's there. I'm so happy. Hey, Brian.
Hi, how's it going? Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you perfectly. Yes, great.
Let me just turn my video on. There we go.
Brilliant. That's also a good step. Yeah. Are you going to share your screen with us, Brian, as well?
I am. Just trying to work it out.
Great.
There we go. Can you see that?
Oh, brilliant. It's working. Okay. Thank you, Brian.
Great.
Tell us a little bit
No
about
worries. So yeah, thanks for having us. So yeah, my name is Brian Wong. I'm An EIT Health alumni. I am currently working as youth officer for the Lancet Financial Times Commission on Governing Health Futures 2030, Growing Up in the Digital World. I've just landed in Geneva, so you'll have to forgive if there's a bit of extra noise in the background. I'm just grabbed my bag and hopped on the call. So yeah, so our projects on health innovation and entrepreneurship for public good and social impact. It's about ensuring an equitable future for healthcare through fit-for-purpose digitally enabled health systems. So equality, diversity, and inclusion is a really core tenet of ensuring that the potential of health innovation and entrepreneurship can be harnessed for public good and social impact to achieve universal health coverage and health for all, and to ensure that no one's left behind. So in 2021, in September 2021, during the European Health Forum Gastein annual conference, EIT Health alumni co-organized a workshop with the Young Forum Gastein on HIE, PG, and SI. And during that workshop, we had 8 teams come together to design solutions to tackle challenges on our health systems that they're facing through digitalization. So we were tasked with answering the question, how can we ensure that digital transformation will bring equitable access to healthcare? And after that workshop, a call was made to the Young Forum Gastein participants interested in continuing work on that questions that were addressed in the workshop. So following the forum's workshop, we came together in this interdisciplinary group as expert young leaders to work on a white paper aimed at providing a comprehensive framework for an equitable future of healthcare via digitalization. You know, where we think that this will make a really positive change because we brought together youth to carry out stakeholder engagement and really bring together this intersection of policy, business, and civil society, as well as bring together diverse voices. So we've decided to prepare a white paper to address these questions. And here's the team. As you can see, we're very gender diverse. We've got backgrounds in different health professions and are from across Europe. So really diverse lived experiences with different health systems. So I'd like to share 4 key objectives that we're aiming to achieve with this white paper by April 2022. The first is to address this 4th industrial revolution of digitalization that we're in and the future of healthcare from different perspectives, policy, business, and society. You know, second, we'd like to foster collective action, stakeholder engagement, and public-private collaboration for development and progress. We'd also like to empower young voices to become agents of change in digital transition and enable means for them to co-create with the health leadership in both business and policy. And finally, to advance innovation and entrepreneurship for equitable and inclusive health systems. We've teamed up with impactful partners to ensure a broader outreach and awareness led by the EIT Health alumni. This comprises the World Health Innovation Summit, HIMSS Initiative for Technology and Health Informatics Education for students and healthcare professionals, as well as the European Health Forum Gastein. More to come on that. So first I'll walk you through our white paper, kind of how we'd like to structure it. So the first chapter is equity, diversity, inclusion through a global lens. You know, and really we want to apply this global lens to make sure this global leave no one behind lens to digital transformations, which really means putting people at the heart of digital transition agendas in the pursuit to achieve the SDGs and the triple billion targets, as well as the goals set out in WHO's global strategy on digital health 2020 to 2025. As mentioned, I'm the youth officer for the Governing Health Futures 2030 Commission, and we recently launched our final commission report in the Lancet. So this second chapter is titled Digital Health for All, Governing Innovation in the Digital Transformations in Health. And this kind of is based on the framework that's set out in the commission report, in which we urge policymakers to address power asymmetries that are reinforced by digital transformations and ensure that opportunities afforded by digital technologies and data are harnessed in support of the missions of public health and universal health coverage. And to achieve this, we've identified 4 key areas where governments and digital health actors must take collective action, and which will be used as a framework for this chapter. So the first is to address the roles of digital technologies as determinants of health, to build people's trust in digital health, to enact a solidarity-based approach to health data to increase its public value, and finally to invest in the enablers of digital transformations of health and UHC. Our next chapter is around fixing broken healthcare systems through tech and digitalization, and the pivotal role that innovation moonshots and purpose-driven startups can play in this. So, you know, we believe that, you know, the role of innovation hubs and healthcare delivery organizations is really key to provide value for healthcare consumers. Additionally, there's impactful innovations which are tackling digital divides, that are observed in underserved communities. And the private capital has a really key role in financing the future of healthcare and achieving UHC. So again, going back to this public-private partnerships model. And finally, around digital maturity assessment of healthcare systems and services, and how key that is. Our final chapter sets out to kind of explore how we can change the world one health tech at a time. So for this, we plan to showcase 5 case studies, mostly EIT health startups, which are bridging the health equity, diversity, and inclusion gap via digitalization. And we'd like to make a call for case studies. So we'd really like to hear about your experience as a startupper. If you do indeed have a startup that you'd like to share your experience with us. And you can scan that QR code to submit your case studies. We'd love to hear from you. We'd also be collating a bunch of cool case studies that we can showcase in the follow-up once the white paper is published. I guess finally, we'd like to invite you to join us in our subsequent roundtable, where the entire team's going to be present. That'll be a really great opportunity to ask us questions, as well as provide us with any recommendations you might have for our future work. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for joining us. This sounds like a fascinating project, and I'm sure that you'll have a bunch of people who are going to want to talk about that and find out a little bit more. And are you at the airport at the moment, Brian?
I am. Do you want to have a look? just chilling by the bag carousels. So.
Amazing. Well, nice work on a presentation from the baggage carousel.
Cheers.
Not many people could pull that off. Thanks for joining, Brian. So guys, please go ahead and join any discussions over at the lounge. I'm just looking at messages. We're going to start about 6:45. I know, Louis, you're very disappointed that we're not doing the speed dating. It's not actual dating. It's networking, just to be clear about that as well. Not that they're not mutually exclusive. Iris is going to join me now to talk a little bit about her project. How you doing, Iris?
Hi,
Iris,
welcome. Hi,
thanks for joining me.
Yeah, really nice to this spontaneous invite. I heard we had some 2 minutes left, so really happy to join you on stage.
Brilliant, thank you, Iris. Jill, are you going to be talking about the same project? Is that right? The Agenda 2030?
No, unfortunately not. No. But I would like to tell you a little bit more, just a teaser on the session that it will come up next after this open mic. So I'm happy to have you, that you have me on stage. I'm the program manager of the bootcamp tour. So one of the programs within EIT Health is the bootcamp. So last year there were 4 bootcamps, quite difficult with all the corona measurements, but they did a really awesome job. So 47 teams, medtech teams throughout Europe did a bootcamp program. Barcelona, Munich, Copenhagen, Budapest were all participating. Teams went through like a bootcamp of 2 months, really intensive, great sessions, content, peer-to-peer, learn from each other, pitch training, talk to investors, the whole bunch, learn how to validate in the specific countries. So really amazing. And all those 47 companies, I had to organize like a final event. So the past 2 weeks, we had some great sessions on market access, reimbursement, venture capital, business angels, and today is also the final day for them. So after this call, I would like to invite everybody to join the prize winning ceremony, so to say, because the people got the chance to apply for a ULabs voucher. So in short, it's like a user testing validation with pre-selected partners from EIT Health. So we are giving away 4 vouchers, and we are going to announce. So either I really invite you to go start in speed dating, because time is precious as an entrepreneur, I can imagine. But if not, feel free to join also like the prize winning ceremony. It will take probably 10-15 minutes to announce all the winners and celebrate together. And after that session, of course, we will join you during the speed dating. So don't leave in 15 minutes. We would love to join after our session for the speed dating, if that's possible. I don't know what time until we can speed date. But
I'm not sure. I think that the speed dating can go on as long as people are willing. Hopefully.
Sounds as a plan.
Okay, thank you, Iris. So good luck with the prize giving.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thanks for letting us
thanks.
know about it. Brilliant. So the speed dating, I know we're very anxious to get started. Please go on into the lounge. As far as I know, there's a speed dating feature above the tables. Is that right? Click on the speed dating button above the tables in the lounge, and then you'll get matched with different people then. So please go enjoy that. Thank you for joining us again for these sessions. I think we had a couple of really interesting chats today. Lots of nice information. Most importantly, get to know each other, find new people, find new connections. And I won't see you tomorrow. My colleague Andy Heffler will be joining you tomorrow. We actually are from Grund Essentials in Hungary. We do some communications training. If anybody's interested in that, feel free to hit me up on LinkedIn. But otherwise, it's been nice to be hanging out with you guys for the last couple of days. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you another time, hopefully.